What's up guys, welcome back to CS2 Daily. I hope you're all having a great day. Day 4 of Blast Open London gave us everything from wild comebacks to clean shutouts, with 4 big series on the board. Liquid scraped past Imperial to stay alive, FlyQuest sent Legacy home in a scrappy 3-map battle, MOUZ brushed aside G2 to book their ticket to Wembley, and FURIA pulled off a huge win over Spirit to join them. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you're enjoying the daily coverage, I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, let's get straight into it. So we kick things off with Liquid versus Imperial, and Liquid stay alive at Blast Open London, but it wasn't easy. They had to grind out a full 3 maps to knock Imperial out of the tournament. We started on Dust 2, and this one was all Liquid. Twist and Naf were sharp right from the beginning, hitting clean taps and controlling mid, and Imperial never really found their way in. Nurse grabbed his first ever 1v5 to tie things up, and Liquid cruised to a 13-5 win to grab the opener. On train though, Imperial bit back. Try and Vinny started heating up, pulling rounds back with sharp op work and solid site anchors. Liquid couldn't find consistency on their T side, and Imperial leveled the series with a 13-9 win, setting us up for a decider. And that decider was Nuke, where Imperial had every chance to close things out. They led 8-4 at half time after a really solid CT side, but once they swapped over, the wheels came off. Their T side completely stalled out, and Liquid took over. Naf and Twist stepped up big, and Nertz delivered crucial impact to push Liquid all the way through to a 13-10 win, completing the comeback and keeping their tournament hopes alive. Imperial crushed out of Blast London in last place, while Liquid move on in the lower bracket. That leads us to FlyQuest versus Legacy, and FlyQuest have kept their Blast Open London hopes alive after taking down Legacy 2-1 in the lower bracket, but it wasn't a smooth ride. On Mirage, FlyQuest looked dead on arrival during the first half. Their T side only managed 4 rounds, and it looked like Legacy were about to run away with it. But once sides swapped, Vexite and Regali turned into a brick wall. Vexite dropped a 2.75 rating on CT, Regali backed him up with huge impact, and FlyQuest ripped off a flawless half to steal Mirage 13-8. Legacy didn't let that phase them though, because on Nuke they came out flying. Their T side rolled through FlyQuest setups again and again, cruising to a 10-2 lead before finishing it 13-2 in a dominant fashion, and suddenly we had a decider, and that decider was Inferno, and it turned into a scrappy, chaotic 4-spy battle. Neither team could string rounds together until late in the half, but Regali was the difference maker again, keeping FlyQuest in control when it mattered. Legacy clawed back to 6-6, but after the swap, Regali completely took over, locking down bomb sites and finding multi-kills that gave FlyQuest the breathing room they needed. In the end, they closed it 13-9, sending Legacy home and keeping their own lower bracket run alive. FlyQuest now move forward, but the road doesn't get any easier. They'll be facing G2 next, and they'll need every bit of Regali's firepower if they want to push on toward the LAN finals. Our third match of the day, which was MOUZ versus G2, and MOUZ are the third team confirmed for the Blast London finals after taking down G2 in straight maps, 13-10 on both Ancient and Mirage. The scoreline looks close, but in reality MOUZ were in control from start to finish. Ancient opened up with MOUZ, absolutely steamrolling G2 on their CT side. They strung together 11 of the first 12 rounds, only broken up by MOUZ MD pulling off this crazy deagle round to stop it being flawless. After the switch, G2 finally found some life, with some Pius hitting a crisp 3k in the pistol, and they started clawing rounds back. But just when it looked like overtime was on the cards, MOUZ slammed the doors shut in round 23 to take the map. Mirage followed almost the exact same script, except this time it was MOUZ on the T side doing the damage. They completely exposed G2's defense, jumping out to a 9-3 lead at half time. G2 again tried to mount a comeback after the switch, but as soon as MOUZ had rifles in their hands, the game tilted back. Torzi came alive with back-to-back triple kills to crush G2's momentum, and just like on Ancient, MOUZ finished it in round 23 to lock their ticket to Wembley. MOUZ now move on to face FURIA for seeding, while G2 drop down into survival mode, where they'll take on FlyQuest in an elimination match. If we take a look at the scoreboard here at the end of the game, Spinks and Torzi both dropping +8s with a 1.08 rating for Spinks, a 1.09 rating for Torzi, and a 1.13 rating for Exertion, and a 1.16 rating for Gymfat. All in all, a great series for the boys. And our last game of the day was a crazy one. I mean, I was expecting a bit of a slugfest, but I didn't expect this outcome, I'm not going to lie. But FURIA have booked their spot at the Blast London Finals after a 2-0 win over Spirit, taking MOUZ 13-9 and Nuke 13-11. That puts them alongside MOUZ, FaZe and Vitality in Wembley, while Spirit now drop to the lower bracket where they'll meet Liquid. Mirage was the opening battleground, and it turned into a heavyweight duel between Donk and Molodoy. Both players traded highlight rounds, but it was FURIA who edged the half 7-5 and then carried that momentum into their CT side. Molodoy has clearly cemented himself as one of the top oppers currently in CS2 right now, and I feel like it's hard to make an argument against that at the moment given his performance. Really impressed by him. But even with Donk dropping multiple triples to try and spark a comeback, Spirit couldn't break through FURIA's defense, and the Brazilian closed Mirage out 13-9. And then we head to Nuke, and Spirit came out swinging on Nuke with a 4-0 T-side start, but Keisaratu's triple kill woke FURIA up. From there, the map turned scrappy. Spirit held onto a narrow lead at half time, only for Shiro's 1v3 pistol clutch to get instantly cancelled by a FURIA force buy. That broke the Russians' economy and gave Fallen Squad all the momentum. 7 straight T-side rounds later, Spirit were on the ropes. They managed to stall FURIA briefly, but a fast A-site hit sealed the 13-11 win and the series 2-0. Absolutely crazy upset right there. Molodoy and Keisaratu were the key engines for FURIA, both dropping massive numbers, while Donk once again topped the server for Spirit, but couldn't drag them across the line. Donk ending with a +17 and a 1.74 rating. Shiro not far behind with a +8 and a 1.30 rating, but the rest of the squad, really having a tough time there. On FURIA's side, we had Keisaratu with a +13 rating, +13 KD and a 1.46 rating, and Molodoy there with a +16 and a 1.45 rating. But like I said, I mean, Molodoy having a absolute monster series here, and showing people why he is a top contender in that top 5 or even top 3 talk as a upper, depending on how you want to look at it. But it's not over yet. Tomorrow we have Group A and Group B's lower bracket semi-finals, and these are elimination matches, so whoever loses will go home. We'll start the day off with Fnatic versus Gamer Legion, then M80 versus Na'Vi, Liquid versus Spirit, and then to wrap things up we have FlyQuest versus G2. So another spicy day of CS2, and I will also be covering those games like always, so don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it, and as always, thanks for watching. Take care.